Good morning.
Good morning.
Slept in a little bit. It's coming out a little late.
Yeah.
But we just got some night shift coffee, and we're gonna try it out. We filming some of it on the Crocker Life.
Yes.
That's not what this whole video is gonna be, but this will be the first taste test right here.
Go for it. Ooh.
It's a dark roast, and normally I'm not into that.
That's
not bad.
Flavor.
Yeah.
It's not bitter.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We don't want the whole video to be about that. We just got it. We're kind of excited.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be our new sponsor, coffee sponsor, but
it's veteran owned.
Yeah, it's a small business, veteran owned. They do they like cook the beans differently. They do different things, but
it's good. Better.
That was literally
like
first taste right there. But you guys know we didn't post over the last couple of days as far as Coffee Crockers, and I don't know. I guess didn't feel like doing the Coffee Crockers. Normally we put it out early, but after dealing with all the tornado stuff and all that, I was like, we even flipped Crocker Life and Crockers around because, yes, we could have put a video out in the morning, but not as many people watch this. We could have put the Crocker Life video, not as many people watch it. So we put the Crocker video out earlier than we normally do, just to let as many people know that we're good. And then we kind of put the Crocker Life out later, and then we just didn't even do a Coffee Crockers. But I'm very thankful that it was nowhere near us.
The tornado itself, there was circulation and just trying to get a tornado right here.
Yeah, but damage-wise, it was nowhere near us. And as of right now, I hate to say that we got lucky, because a lot of people didn't, but it tore apart the south of Oklahoma, and it tore apart the north of Oklahoma, and it's just going right over and between us and everything. And like Danielle said, we went to town and stayed, and we were watching the weather, and it just popped up tornado alert or warning or whatever in Creek County, and we're like, oh no. And then the path is just coming right to our property, and I was like, oh no, like if this gets stronger and does what it needs to do to create a tornado.
Just organize a little bit more.
Yeah. One, there ain't no telling what's going to happen to the property. It's going to get beat up pretty bad because, it was like direct path.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was a little worried. I'm glad we weren't here or anything, but there's nothing worse than no matter if you have insurance, if you don't have insurance, if you do, when we're watching and we're seeing people's houses torn apart, again, it doesn't matter if you have insurance or not, to lose your life and everything you work for because of weather, I would be devastated.
Yeah, so we were working here Monday, and it just kept being like, I don't know, just thinking of last time Jason, getting the helmet and really not knowing where to go. Like, this is real, which obviously live in Oklahoma, always be prepared. But, I don't know, I guess at Shooting Ranch, we've had a little more comfort with
a shot that's been there for 60 years.
Yeah.
Or however long.
And it kind of hit, and I was like, I think we should load everyone up.
Yeah.
And go to the house in town.
Yeah.
So.
It was a good decision, and especially if it would have got bad. And then we talked to the neighbor yesterday. They may have been camping out on their property. They got stuck with every machine you can think of, but because of all the rain and stuff. But he said that it held here, and that it got pretty, windy and the rain and stuff. And
they went into a shelter.
Yeah. So I didn't know this. I have no idea. I'm not from here. I had no idea that every school has a storm shelter, and there's different schools around that you can go to, and I had no idea that was a thing.
I don't think every school has a storm shelter.
Probably the majority.
Yeah, it's a lot of times it's the schools that is the town shelter.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why is that not a known thing?
I guess it's a known thing. I don't know.
Because what's crazy is when it was getting
I
wild.
didn't tell you.
Yeah, I could have gone there.
Yeah.
Whenever it came last time.
Well, I didn't know Gypsy.
Yeah. There's one below us and one north of us.
Yeah.
So, it's a good thing to know. And our neighbors went and everything, and they said it's a big one. And, I don't know, it's scary. And I think right now it's supposed to be good weather, but this is just that time of year where it's just, you're having great weather, you're getting things done, and then Mother Nature's like, hey, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
But, I didn't know how much rain we actually got, and then we saw on Jeremy and Chrissy's video, Paragon and Drench, Bristol got 4.8 inches of rain. And if that pond was not at the top of our property, that sucker would be overflowing right now.
Yeah.
We got some decent rain because there's some big lakes, ponds on the way, and we drive past them all the time, and they are up.
Yeah, it was
a lot.
Crazy.
So this little pond here would have been overflowing if it would have been down, and then plus all the water. If you guys saw the Crocker video and stuff in that creek, all that water that's still flowing, if that's moved into the pond, and that's something that we want to do. Clearly, we don't have time for it now, or probably this year at all, maybe. We want a pond down there, and it'll be a bigger pond, and with that creek, the way it flows, all you have to do is just kind of cut it in a little bit, so all it's flowing down, a lot of it will go into the pond, and then at the other side, whenever it overflows, it'll cut back into the creek, and it'll keep it, every time we have big rains, it'll keep it full.
Yeah.
Plus all the big hills coming down and everything.
Just that way we have 2 ponds, different parts of the property for the animals get in, cool off.
Yeah, 3 technically, 'cause it's a pig pond, but
yeah,
you try to be safe in this weather, but you also try to utilize it to your best ability. And for us, we were watching Juno's live chat last night, and if y'all missed that, I was getting Flint pretty good. I don't think he knew how to handle it. I was being nice to him, and I think we filmed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
But they were sitting there, and someone was like, "Man, your grass is super green," and they're like, "Yeah, it like sprouted up big time." Mm-hmm. Looking out the window every day now, we're like, "Holy cow, we have grass!"
It's crazy. It's happening, guys.
Yeah, it's clearly not full blown or nothing, but
it's. I mean, where you went and you seeded, that I didn't go seed.
Yeah, I threw it on thicker.
It is thick.
Yeah,
it is coming in where the bag was there too, like spilling over.
It'd be like a legit lawn.
Yeah.
Now there are spots that are a little patchy, but they're also just now starting to sprout up. So
yeah,
I think over the next week we'll really see it. And then I told Danielle, I was like, now that we know it works and it's good, we don't want to have to seed a massive spot. So we'll buy another big bag, and we'll get the sprinkler, and wherever that sprinkler can reach, we'll just seed it crazy in that spot, and then soak it for, the first 2 or 3 days or something, and then move it over, and then do that. And then you can always, once you're doing that one, and then you move the sprinkler over to kind of hit that real quick, and then after a couple days, then you do the next spot. That way we're not having to water the whole section.
Yeah,
and
we got a little excited. We got a little experimental.
Well, yeah, and we knew it was going to rain. Now, if I know we have rain again for a couple days, I would do it. I would heavily seed it, and then just let it, because that first couple of days of getting it soaked, it clearly has worked. And we know it's not a yard yet. We know it's not lush grass you can go run on, and it feels good, and it's soft, and you got to mow it. But it's a start. And I think that's the biggest thing, is what we always talk about and stuff, is it's the little steps. It's literally the little steps that you take to get where you want to be. And it's kind of funny, I guess. Our neighbors, they were out checking. They were building up a house pad. They're about to start building a house and all that. And he's gung-ho. He's like, oh, when we're gonna start, we're gonna go, gung-ho. And he was gung-ho when they first bought it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not, it's not talking bad about him or nothing, but that's how we were, and especially at like Shoot Dang Ranch and stuff, and at least for us, we've learned be gung-ho but have a plan, and then just go slow. It has paid off greatly, doing it slower, thinking about it. Again, we learned a lot at Shoot Dang Ranch about building placement, how far. Clearly, there's a whole different scenario there, but I like really would love a shop garage, and we'll start on that at some point. But we've thought of different ways to build it, different places to put it.
You guys would be so proud.
Yeah, we have planned and planned. I swear I have this notebook and I draw everything and I write everything. Actually, it's right here. And there's, all the way down to like how we're planning out
everything,
coming up the driveway and the silo and like just everything. We plan it, and then it sounds good on paper, and then you go out there and it's like, oh, it's not enough room, or oh, maybe this should move back, or oh, if you're at the
moving this back, then you need to move this forward, or
if you're at the grain bin and we're like hanging out and we look out, is that what you're gonna see? Or are you going to see this? How would you put fence if we need to make like a real yard? Like, there's so much to it that how in the world are two random people supposed to know all this stuff and how to figure it out and get it spot on? But I don't know what I was watching. I think it was on YouTube, and it was videos of people building stuff and doing cement slabs and doing all this stuff. And it was a breakdown cost of the price difference. And this guy poured a little cement slab, and I don't remember how much it was, but he saved like a couple $1,000s on this tiny little slab. And he said, here's the thing. And it came out pretty good. He said, here's the thing. When you do your own stuff,
when you DIY,
it's going to take longer. You have to take into consideration how much planning you put into it, all this stuff. So at the end result, it takes a lot longer, but you normally save a lot of money. And he said, but the thing is that he's learned, and this is stuff that I've learned over the years, stuff you've learned, stuff a lot of people learned. When you make mistakes and you, whatever it may be, there's little imperfections, little mistakes, it's a lot easier to allow it and not be upset because you did it yourself, you save money, you're not a pro. But when you hire someone and there's still mistakes, it's a lot harder to accept when you paid a lot of money for something and it's not good.
Yeah.
So it's always better that if there's little hiccups, little mess ups, at least it's you that did it. It's a lot easier to accept. And then you learn a new skill. You now in that moment know, again, you could probably do it. You learned different things. I was talking to the neighbor yesterday, and I think it was his brother actually, but talking about the barn, and I was like, yeah, we built it. That's literally the second barn I've ever built, the first one you've ever built. The first one, I told him, I was like, man, I learned a lot, because I think he builds barns.
I was gonna say, is that the brother that builds?
I think. I'm not 100%. The way he was asking me questions, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I learned a lot from it off the first one to be able to do the second one. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, learn what to do, what not to do, how to get around certain things. And, I feel confident enough to build another barn. Do I want to build one? No. But I feel confident now that it's only going to be my third barn.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. And it got to where we were like, we could build our own shop. It's going to be big, but we can build it.
Yeah.
And then once we get in the middle of building something, we'd be like, why did we do this? We should have hired it out. You get that false sense of...
But then it's the same story. Like, all right, we got this. And then you're doing it. And then in the middle, you're like, why did we make this decision?
Yeah.
This is awful. And then at the end, you'd be like, well, I'm glad we did this.
It came out as good as it possibly could have.
Yeah.
And saved a lot of money. We literally, I saw on Facebook Market, what was it, a 30 by 30 It was something. It was basically the exact same size of the barn, except their walls went up a little bit. It was like a normal shop. It wasn't the barn style, which technically what we did actually is the exact same thing, except instead of the walls going all the way up on the sides, ours came up, roof came in and went up more. So technically, at the end of the day, theirs was actually easier to build, but probably same amount of material. And that barn, I'm just guessing here. I don't know. We're gonna have to do a whole video maybe at some point, break it down. I'm gonna say $6,000 to $7,000, and that barn I think was like $26,000. That shop, if you hired somebody to do
Isn't that
it,
crazy?
and that's not even concrete, nothing. So we literally saved like 20 grand doing it ourselves, and it's
the time factor of it.
Yeah.
But time is money.
Yeah.
Especially when you're starting off and you're trying to hurry, get things going, place for your animals, da da.
Yeah.
But that's a lot. That's a big difference.
$20,000 is a lot.
lot.
It's worth waiting an extra month and a half.
Yeah.
Because I think total it took us about 2 months, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
Once we started building, not groundwork or anything like that, but once we started building, I think it was about 2 months that it took us to do it. Which we could have done it quicker if we had all the material already here. If we, because that was another thing, we waited for the metal and us to not go crazy, and but even then it took 2 months and we saved 20 grand. Yeah. So, and it's not the fact that it's like, oh well, you can't afford to pay someone to do it, so you have to do it yourself. I've talked about this before. I am so much of the why would I pay someone if I could do it myself, and it always ends up again through the middle of it being like, should have just paid somebody. I don't want to do this no more, But it's the same thing with like the fence. Yeah. The fence is almost done.
I was literally about to say.
I know, maybe. Like earlier, we're saying, I know you well enough. I know you. Let's talk about it.
The fence? Wish we would have hired it out.
No, I'm glad we did it ourselves. Builds character.
See, no, it's every time it's like in the middle of doing it, especially fencing. Yeah. It's like, I hate this. Yeah. We hate this. No, just me.
I don't know a lot of people that like fencing.
It's not, I don't know, it just doesn't excite.
No, not at all.
To say the least.
And it's super hard to get motivated to go out and do it when you really don't like doing it. Clearly our motivation is we want to get the animals set up and have it good. Yeah. Junos don't have to babysit no more. Shout
out to the Junos.
Yeah. But it's almost done, and I'm glad that it's almost done. But chances are we'll probably hire out the rest of it. But even that, it costs so much money hiring out.
I know as soon as we get like a quote for it, you'll be like,
yeah, I'm gonna be like, I'm doing it myself.
And then I'm gonna under the table.
Yeah.
Be like,
just don't even tell me. You just hire them. Yeah. And they show up one day. I'm like, what are they doing? Like fencing. I'm like, all right. Just say it's already paid for.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. I would go watch them. I'd be like, how do you do this so quickly and so good? Because I can't figure this out. But I don't know. It's one of those things that we're grateful we have what we have. We're grateful the storms haven't destroyed our stuff. It's almost at the point where these tornadoes are hitting these other places and stuff, and it makes you appreciate what you have a lot more. Appreciate what you still got that could be taken away at any moment. And then it's also like, man, I wish we can go help these people. But what do you do? Like, honestly, what do you do? Like, we could load up a tractor and go and do stuff, but, like, am I just getting in the way? Am I, like, I don't know. I don't know what you can do.
There's, like, donations.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, it's definitely hit home this year with tornado stuff. And I guess maybe I just never paid attention enough before. I don't know.
I think to the past couple of years at Shooting Ranch, we were just in our own world.
We were isolated.
So isolated.
We were just talking about that 2 days ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's truly like you're in your own world, and our one focus was building that up.
Yeah.
There's nothing else going on around us. That was it. So I think we were oblivious.
Because we're narcissists and we only think about ourselves.
Well,
it is what it is. Look, we're being a narcissist, guys.
The way she goes.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely, I guess, more realistic here in my head of like, oh, dang, yeah, these are pretty wild. And I don't know. It's hard to, I guess, do something for other towns and stuff, especially when you don't know anybody and, but if it hit around here, clearly we would help and do what we can and all that. It's almost a matter of not if, but when. That's what's crazy is, you want to kind of get your stuff situated. And that's another thing, too, is like, yes, we need to help people because it's the right thing to do, but we also got to take care of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I think for so long, we've helped people. I've helped people before Danielle came along in my life, and sometimes you just have to realize, like, and I know this sounds bad, and maybe it makes me a narcissist, I don't know, and I don't care. You can't think about others sometimes. You got to just take care of yourself and get it done, because when you spend all your time focusing on helping others, you're just putting yourself behind. And truly, how can you really help somebody when you're always behind?
Yeah.
You need to get your stuff situated so you have the time and energy and resources to help others.
Yeah.
And
well, also different times, different people where you help them, and it's not a stab in the back, a stab in the front, maybe like a gut punch.
A gut punch or something. That was a good one, baby.
You knew what I was doing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just been a real interesting way to look at life lately, and I honestly wouldn't change it. As of right now, we're just doing what's best for us, and they say focus on yourself and get yourself situated, and then you'll see who your real friends are. It's not who you can help, you can whatever. It's when the friends see that you got a lot going on and they're willing to help and they're willing to sit back whenever maybe you're not reaching out as much or whatever. And I've had a lot of problems with that over the years, and I feel like we're in a good spot now. We have good friends that understand. We have people in our life that like you guys watching that understand, and then just us in general. It's okay, this is the portion of our life where we take care of ourselves, and I feel like it's working out. Yeah, it's hot and sweaty and muggy in here, but
so have you been working out? You looking good. I was watching you drive them T-post in yesterday, and I said, dang, look at the muscles. You can see it in your back popping and everything.
Alright guys, we gotta get off here either to make it more hot and stuffy in here, or I'm be like, where'd you pull all that garbage out?
It's the truth.
That I have back muscles?
Yeah.
I don't know. That I got back muscles?
You do. You see it through your shirt.
I don't see my back. So.
Well, I'm telling you.
All right, thank you, baby.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna drink some more of this coffee, get our day going.
Very good.
No, it's actually especially for a dark roast. We're not a dark roast family.
It's not bitter.
No.
So.
Very surprised.
Recommend.
Yeah.
Night shift.
As of right now. But we'll talk about it more on the Crocker Life if you guys are interested and where to get it and all that stuff. But hopefully you guys have a great day. This is clearly coming out late. We just way overslept. 6:30, 6:45, whatever it may have been. We woke up.
In an hour.
But we'll get our day going, and then we got to finish up this project, and then we're going live tonight. If you made it this far.
Yeah, we're going live tonight, and we got some not so good news.
I'm not even sure I know what you're talking about. I don't know. It's too early for me to be thinking about what bad news.
We were trying to look into it yesterday, and it's all full up.
Oh, maybe we'll see. There might be bad news.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure.
we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah. All right, guys. I was like, what you talking about, girl? All right. Bye.